Smog is a noxious mixture of air pollutants, including nitrogen oxides, ground-level ozone, and fine particles.
Two key components of smog are airborne particulate matter and ground-level ozone. Particulate matter is composed of tiny solid or liquid particles. These particles give smog its color and can cause health problems when they are drawn deep into the lungs.
Ground-level ozone is a colorless and highly irritating gas that forms in the atmosphere when the sunlight reacts with the air pollutants.
Some specific air pollutants that that are part of air pollution include sulfur dioxides, which come from diesel, burning diesel, or from industry, nitrous oxides, especially from vehicle exhaust. On the ground, it would be pollution from cars, from vehicles. And the reason for that is because the pollution that's coming out of the back, the tailpipe emissions, they actually affect you a lot because it's basically in your face when you're walking down the street.
Alright, there's 16 million cars in Ontario. Wonder how much space that takes up. Alright, 16 million cars. If each car is 1 meter wide, just like this, that's 1,000 cars in a kilometer. That's 16 million divided by 1,000, 16,000 kilometers of cars lined up just like this, all the way through. That's how long it would be, 16,000 kilometers. That's a lot of cars.
Do I think I'm contributing to air pollution? Obviously, with driving a car, yes, there is a certain amount of contribution being made by that.
I tend to use it unless it's absolutely necessary to use my car. I don't tend to use my car frivolously. I have 2 small children, and it's a necessity.
Car emissions reduced. People could drive less if possible.
I made sure to turn off the engine, turn off the car, because I find that that is where a lot of the pollution actually does come from. It's just cars idling.
Reduce smog in all possible ways. Coal-fired generators, stupid things like leaf blowers.
This is not an SUV. This is a car. It's all-wheel drive, but it doesn't get the emissions breaks that an SUV would get. No, it's not built on a truck chassis. It's built on a car chassis, so it doesn't get the brakes.
On average, each one of the 16 million cars and light trucks on Canada's roads adds more than 5 tons of pollutants annually to the air we breathe.
The effects on air pollution on individuals are varied, mostly with respiratory problems, especially with elderly or young children, and also asthma is a common problem with air pollution that's aggravated by air pollution.
At least one of the things that I've heard is that a lot of the pollutants are actually in the intersections, low to the ground, and so by riding in the traffic, I'm wondering whether that's actually putting my lungs and my health more at risk.
I'm very concerned about the quality of the air. The air pollution is awful in Toronto. A lot of people will stop riding their bikes altogether.
Over the past 5 or 6 years, that when I ride my bike, I now have worse asthma.
And other things that affect your body but you might not see, like your lungs might be a little darker than they should be, kind of like a smoker's.
I think people stop riding their bikes on the smog alert days because you really do start feeling it. I don't breathe that well when it's 32 degrees and smoggy.
The bicycle. 2 wheels, 2 pedals, 2 handle grips, 2 brakes, no steering wheel, no diesel fuel, no gas, no pollution.
They're just simple things that people can do or are just neglecting because just they're lazy, I suppose. Riding their bikes, taking the transit, walking.
The gridlock is only becoming worse. sometimes it's faster walking than driving a car.
Yes, definitely we do everything with my bike. Shopping, actually having a kid makes it easier because not only I can drop him at school and then ride to work and then do errands and things.
I don't know, I would encourage people to cycle like in groups, like as a group activity or just on their way to work.
I'd like to see things like people encouraged to take TTC on smog days. So I know that in some cities they have free TTC on those days, which is mostly, I think, works as an education.
The gas prices going up might lead to people driving less, which may help air.
Taking into account highways, bridges, gas stations, parking lots, and garages, close to 1/3 of all land use in urban communities is used to accommodate the car. Here are some solutions we've thought of.
Public transportation, carpool,
Use alternative fuel.
inflate your tires properly, avoid idling, free transit on smog alert days,
Basic car maintenance.
fuel efficiency vehicles.
The other day, I was reading in a magazine, and they had an article about how this guy invented a fuel made out of garbage. Like he gets energy out of garbage, and that can be used as a normal fuel for cars.
That is good. One thing that I find very interesting is the electric car. And I was just thinking, like, you know, with the industrial revolution going 20 times faster than anyone, exactly with the computer chips and everything, how could the electric car not have been invented yet?
That's pretty random. Yeah, and have you heard about in Vancouver and Chicago they have these buses that emit water vapor instead of like gasoline and methane? I think they're like hydrogen fuel cells. They're really cool. They convert energy into water vapor.